Yeah, hold on. Is the
It's
meme
openings,
of
bro,
the
beans.
Republican like
You're a
the
fucking
Confederate
idiot,
flag
Zan.
shirt?
Take it
Is that-
down.
Zan,
You're a fucking idiot. Take it down.
No,
Zan.
it might be I think it's TOS.
Zan, you need to take that down.
Alright, it's gone.
Why did he have a Confederate meme? Wait, what was that meme? What did it say? What? Why?
Yeah, hold on. Is the
It's
meme
openings,
of
bro,
the
beans.
Republican like
You're a
the
fucking
Confederate
idiot,
flag
Zan.
shirt?
Take
Is
it
that-
down.
Zan,
You're a fucking idiot. Take it down.
No, it
Zan.
might be I think it's TOS.
Zan, you need to take that down.
Alright, it's gone. Alright.
TOS.
Click
We-
the button. It's gone. Alright.
This is the person who debated Lawrence Southern, huh?
What?
Hey.
No, everybody quiet. Demon Machine.
Okay. I really don't have any interest in the statues. I don't particularly like statues too much in and of themselves unless they have some sort of point to them that they're trying to really, like my state capital in South
I
Carolina.
don't think the Confederate flag being in a meme
Xanderhal.
about.
Mute.
Wait, I am muted.
No,
You're
we
not.
can. Well, how did I say that
Hear
then?
you.
Why did I say that? Then Xanderhal. I can hear you.
Go back to
Demon
coping,
Machine.
though. That was pretty fun to watch.
Demon Machine.
Okay, so
Joe's a douche, though. Did you see his tweets calling Hans anti-fem because of the DM debate? Yeah.
So that's why I don't like when people try to lump in YouTuber who makes a good amount of money and doesn't have to worry about paying bills with millionaires and billionaires who are able to amass tons of money. to
Nope,
lobby-
just billionaires. Just billionaires now. I like how the goalpost has moved so much, because it used to be like 5 years ago. It was like all these fucking rich people in society with like all their fucking vacations and blah, blah, blah. And then it's like, okay, now it's just like millionaires, all these multimillionaires and billionaires. And now it's changed to now it's just billionaires. You realize that if we just taxed billionaires alone, like we're not going to get shit done in this country. I'm sorry, but you're going to have to move down to the people making the big 6-figure incomes. It's not just billionaires alone aren't going to be able to save all of fucking America. All right? Jesus Christ. It's so cringe how the goalposts have moved so much. Like, okay, bro, sure, they make $600K a year, but they live in LA, bro. It's expensive. $600K a year in LA. That's like $30K a year in Omaha, in fucking Oklahoma and Iowa. Like,
politicians to support certain things or not support other things. Alrighty, Destiny needs no introduction, okay? He
Thank
is,
you.
In large part, the reason why I do what I do today.
do you think it got adjusted because some of their friends are multimillionaires now? Yes, because now that a lot of the lefty content creators are millionaires or are approaching it, now it's like, okay, well, hold on. It's not millionaires, okay? It's like tens of millionaires or 100 millionaires or billionaires is like easier to say. And it's so cringe. Like, what are we going to solve in society targeting billionaires? What are there, like 100 of them? How many billionaires in the USA? There's 614 billionaires, okay? I don't think there's enough taxable anything there to actually save our entire fucking country, okay? Jesus Christ. Nobody wants to target, like, if you want to raise taxes to, like, fix things in the country, you're going to have to target millions as well, and you're going to have to target a lot of people making 6-figure incomes.
It's one of the biggest inspirations for my content. And despite that, we've had our political differences, for a while. He's not quite fond of the online left. He's had a bit of an arc where he has been sort of going against that. He engages in a lot of the discourse that he engages in against the online left through Twitter. And, very quippy gotchas on Twitter because, Twitter's a platform for that. And, of course, the drama we're talking about today is the drama that's happening between TJ Kirk and Destiny. Here is what started it all. The Amazing Atheists channel. The wealthy elite laugh at you daily. Where they got the screenshot when the video only had like 282 views. And then a picture of, presumably, his Patreon, where he's got, I guess, 2 tiers, one for $5 and one for $10, and 5,088 patrons. God damn, 5,088 patrons. We can math that. Well, actually, hold on. Let me switch. Let me do the math on a calculator on Google. That's a lot of money at minimum. Let's say they're all tier 1 or the $5 subs. 5,088 times 5 is quite a bit. I'm not going to pretend like I know that math off the top of my head, but, that's 25,400.
5,088 times 5. How can we not do that on the top of our head? This is 25K.
140 a month minimum. And it's probably quite a bit more. So that's a decent amount of money. Sheesh. That's 25K a month. That's pretty impressive. That is a hefty amount of money. Frankly, I'm surprised it's that much because I didn't know TJ Kirk's content was, doing so well. Now, TJ Kirk then proceeded to quote tweet Destiny's tweet and said, "That's split between 5 people, you fucking ass clown." Whatever, blocked. I never gave a rat's ass about anything he had to say before. Why start now?
Oh, I didn't even know he responded to me. Somebody DM'd me and they were like, look at how dumb this is. And I was like, oh shit, it was a funny tweet. And I tweeted it. I didn't even look up, I didn't even look after. This guy's like talked so much shit on me in the past though. I figured that like, he already hates me, so I don't give a fuck. But it's funny now that, I guess now he's acting upset, whatever.
Not only that, but to say that having a decent-sized Patreon, even if it weren't split, puts me into the wealthy elite is goddamn ludicrous. So we're getting to the core of things here. Now, obviously, if it's split between 5 people, we're assuming equally 5 ways, right? Because, you know, that's still 5.
I mean, if we want to go really hard into it too, I'm pretty sure they make a lot of money on, 1, they've got ad revenue on their channel. 2, I think they sell a lot of merchandise as well. I don't know what all the numbers come out to be. But Destiny, $4 trillion of wealth is owned by billionaires. If you tax them at 25%, it would pay for the entire infrastructure bill. What does that mean? Like, all the billionaires are going to sell, like, how would that affect, like, all of our markets? How would that affect all of the businesses? Like, would they have to sell houses and shit too? Like, how did that, like, I don't even know what that would look like. Like, you'd have to tax assets. Like, I don't even know. That's just really weird.
5,000 a month, you know, which is times 12. That's, you know, 61K a year. That's more than I make, just barely, probably, I would guess. Like, I probably make a bit less than that. So, you know, not exactly rich, okay? You're doing all right if you make 61K a year. You're not exactly rich, all right? None of the people who would split up among that Patreon are exactly rich. If they all live together, and then they're roommates, that could be very beneficial for them to you know, live in the same place together. But if they all have their own places and they're all paying their own rents, mortgages, bills, everything like that, then they're all making a decent amount of money. Nobody there is rich, okay? This is the definition of nobody there is rich, okay? So BTFO'd on Destiny's part there, if that's true. If that's true, then, like, well, Destiny fucked up. Destiny's entire assumption with this whole thing is already wrong from the beginning. If Destiny actually believes someone who makes $61,000 a year is doing too well to criticize the rich and not be a hypocrite, then you have to be so poor you can't even...
I just think it's funny there's a ton of lefty. Damn, we're getting like a whole analysis of this tweet. I don't know how much money these makes. I just think it's funny that there's a lot of like wealthy lefties on Patreon that have like thousands or tens of thousands of fucking patrons, and they all hide their income. That's what I think is funny. But it might be that Amazing Atheist doesn't make that much money. I don't know. I just think that's funny.
To be able to criticize the rich by Destiny standards. I don't know. I'm assuming that he didn't know that it was split among 5 people, because that would be ridiculous. Yeah, plus Patreon takes a share. You can look at how much someone makes on YouTube per month, like estimates, but you have to realize YouTube takes a fair cut of how much you make on YouTube. Twitch takes a cut of how much you make on Twitch. Patreon takes a cut of how much you make on Patreon. Yeah, it's unfortunate that this drama even happened, because it was literally over something completely incorrect. But I want to talk about this. Let's say he was making 20.
Yeah, I feel like my Twitter is like a content machine. I feel like I uplift so many creators. I uplift more creators on the left than anyone else online. I'll say that, okay? Look at all these videos. We got a whole corn cob video off of one tweet. We got a 15-minute Xanderhal video off of one tweet. Oh, man.
5,000 a year. Let's say that all of this money, this minimum of 25K, sorry, a month, not a year, 25K a month.
Also, this is also a minimum. If we say that these are split 50-50, if we're being a little bit more generous, because we don't know the split, but we'll say it's 50-50, wouldn't it actually be, it'd be 7.5 times 5,088 times 12 divided by, did they say 5? We're up to 91K a year, 91.5. Now we've got taxes and Patreon. I don't know. I should know what Patreon's cut is, because I have my D&D Patreon, but I don't even look at it.
All of that went to TJ Kirk, okay? Let's grant that, all right? Does that take away your right to make a video called The Wealthy Elite Laugh at You Daily to criticize the rich? Does that make you a hypocrite? I really don't think so. Don't get me wrong. There's a certain level of hypocrisy to criticizing how you know, rich people out there use their money, their inability, or their, you know, their lack of desire to use their money to help other people. You can criticize all of these things and be a hypocrite if you yourself are very rich and don't use your money to do those things. But I feel like most lefty criticisms aren't like, why doesn't this billionaire use their money to solve world hunger? It's usually, why do we have a system in which someone can be a billionaire, have that money just in their possession in some way, shape, or form, and them not have some requirement to help make the world a better place? That's usually like the core of left-wing, like a very far left-wing criticisms of capitalism in our current system. It's usually
Wait, what?
In their possession in some way, shape, or form, and them not have some requirement to help make the world a better place. That's usually like the core. Why doesn't this billionaire use their money to solve world hunger? It's usually, why do we have a system in which someone can be a billionaire, have that money just in their possession in some way, shape, or form, and them not have some requirement to help make the world a better place? That's...
I feel like two things. One, on a more macro point, it feels like a lot of the left's criticism has literally just been like, fuck millionaires and fuck billionaires and fuck the rich. Like, that's unironically what a lot of the propaganda feels like. And then on a more specific point, secondly, weren't people literally saying that Bezos could single-handedly end it was either all of homelessness or all of hunger in the US? Like some impossible, which he can't. Like if you run the numbers on that, I don't think people realize how much we spend on like entitlements or like how much some of these programs actually cost. Oh, there's a Twitter account called "Has Bezos Decided to End World Hunger?" Yeah, it's just, but okay.
Usually like the core of left-wing, like a very far left-wing criticisms of capitalism in our current system. It's usually not rich people are bad. It's there is a system that has been put in place that allows there to be rich people. Meanwhile, there are people who are toiling on the street, eating shit, you know? And usually it's about taxing them more. And I mean, if a rich if you want to push a policy like taxing the rich, how does a lot of policy, I should say, get pushed through? and end up being enacted in the government. A very common way is lobbying. A certain company or sector that wants a certain bill passed.
I hope this meme dies someday. I think I have to do like a whole teardown on it, but I don't know if it's worth it. This meme that like rich people control the government and blah, blah, blah it's just not true. The government is ran, unfortunately, by the American people. We vote on this dumb shit, and that's where it comes from. There isn't a shady elite. There's not a shady cabal that decides our tax policy. Most people just don't know what the fuck, how they even want shit to go. That's like the reality of it. I'm sorry. But, well, maybe we'll see.
Will lobby politicians to support it, right? So wouldn't you want there to be rich people who want the rich to be taxed more? Wouldn't that be a good thing? Wouldn't it be a good thing if we had more rich people who believe rich people should be taxed more to lobby politicians?
Also, I feel like this is in that Politics is for Power book. Am I wrong, or do most wealthy people lean left anyway? Is that true or is it not true? I feel like when I hear like Warren Buffett and Bezos, I feel like when I hear these people talk, they're always like, oh yeah, tax us more or whatever. Is there like a poll? Can somebody link something? Is that true? We should look that up to see if that's true or not. I don't know if that's 100% true. Because I'm repeating it because I feel like I've read it before, but it'd be nice if I could like point to something. I feel like there's probably a curve. Let me draw my feelings, okay? Let me draw my feelings. So if the top makes you really left and the bottom makes you really right, I bet that the way that it works is like you've got like a mixture of like poor and rich. I bet that small business owners and all of those people that make a lot of money, I bet their views fall more right. And then as you get like mega, mega, mega wealthy, I bet you tend to fall more left. That would be my guess. So like there's a lot of wealthy people here that are like more conservative when it comes to taxation, but it's like people with like small and medium-sized businesses. That'd be my guess. And then we get into the really big figures like the Soroses of the world or the Warren Buffetts or whatever. They tend to fall a little bit more left on like tax policy and shit.
To push and support that policy in particular. I don't know, maybe that's what Amazing Atheist would be doing with half of his money. I don't know. Criticizing YouTubers in particular, YouTubers and streamers in particular, for having money does feel like a massive reach. Like if we're talking Bernie Sanders, even Bernie Sanders, didn't he get most of his money from selling books or something? Maybe I'm wrong. Tell me if I'm wrong. But I heard that's how he got most of his money. Criticizing a YouTuber or a live streamer for how much money they make? Come on. YouTube and streaming is like the least corrupt way you can make money, I would say. Like you're not owning a business, you know, unless you have like a bunch of employees. Some YouTubers do have large businesses with employees, but you're like typically it's just some dude sits at their computer and maybe pays another person to edit their videos and upload them if they're a little.
I feel like that's such a strange thing. I've heard a lot of people say this, like, oh, well, entertainment is not exploitation. Entertainment is not exploitation. I don't know how I feel about that. Like, I make a lot of money sitting here by you guys are being exploited by somebody, and then I'm taking money from you to entertain you. Is that like a better way to make money than me opening a business and paying people? Like, that's kind of strange to me, right? So technically, my YouTube editor, who makes a lot of money, he's in like the shitty position of being exploited, and that's like a horrible job to work. But my job is like way better or more morally righteous because I'm not I'm not being exploited. I don't know. That's kind of strange to me. I'm not sure. Not to mention that you're technically exploiting all of the infrastructure and the employees that maintain it that it's built on. So the AWS people and everything too. But I don't know. That's kind of
larger and they got the money for it. Like we're talking about ads running on videos and people voluntarily donating to keep things going. You know, like it just seems like YouTubers and streamers are like the bottom of the barrel to criticize in regards to making immoral amounts of money. TJ's in the top 5%. He is by all definition part of the elite. I hate the term elite. Have you noticed that I never really use that term? Like when I talk about the rich or those that run things.
But like that's it's not really clear from my tweet, but that's kind of my thing too, right? That's why I'm laughing at like the wealthy elite. Like, okay, well, all of these YouTubers are like top 1%ers, so why are they talking about?
Using the elite, one, because it reminds me of a dog whistle for Jews that Nazis use, and two, it reminds me of a dog whistle for Jews that populist lefties use. And so I don't like using the term elite. It is also way too broad, okay? Elite is also way too broad. Because yes, someone who makes, in TJ's case, $61,000 a year is definitely doing pretty well. Making your bills, as long as that stays consistent, you don't have to worry about surviving. And that is a privilege. Most working class Americans have to actually plan out to make sure that they have enough money to afford enough food and have enough to pay the bills and the rent or the mortgage or whatever, right? Like most working class families don't have that luxury that even with this split across 5 people, the Amazing Atheist has. But having a life like that does not mean you have more power necessarily. The people in our country and in the government who have power, as in like influence and the ability to actually affect the way the country runs, are going to be your millionaires and billionaires. Those are the people who have that actual influence. People who are making $61K a year are not lobbying politicians, all right, into supporting a specific policy. People who make $100,000 a year.
Does Destiny understand what exploitation is supposed to mean here? LOL. I understand what exploitation means. I just think it's a really fucking stupid way to point at like who has more power or who's doing better in a society. That exploitation analysis is like really dumb. So for instance, technically my job well, depends on how technical you want to get. My job doesn't really involve exploitation, so I'm like above board or whatever, right? I'm good. But like a landlord that runs 3 properties might be considered highly exploitative, but I make 10 times more than they do, right? So it's kind of weird that like I could shit on them and be like, oh, you're you're exploiting, blah 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 blah. Even though like I make way more fucking money, my life is better, and all. I feel like that division in classes is weird. I think that I don't know if Marx made up this term or somebody else. There's a term to describe like these white collar workers that are actually like they're not part of the bourgeois because they're not like owners, but they make so much fucking money and they have all this power or whatever, and they're called the petit bourgeois or whatever. I think it's right. I don't know. This Marxist analysis is just fucking stupid as fuck anyway. Who the fuck cares?
Are not lobbying politicians into supporting a certain policy. Millionaires and billionaires are lobbying politicians in order to support a certain policy or a certain platform. So that's why I don't like when people try to lump in YouTuber who makes a good amount of money and doesn't have to worry about paying bills with millionaires and billionaires who are able to amass tons of money to lobby politicians to support certain things or not support other things. It's just weird combination to make. Destiny is being dishonest and spiteful. I mean, yeah, he is being a bit dishonest and certainly spiteful here. There's no denying that. But if all this money was going to TJ, I would kind of see the point, but it's not. It's being split among 5 people. So his point, whatever there was of a point there, becomes a lot weaker if that's actually true. Debate? I don't know, Turkey Tom. Does Destiny want to debate me about this? Also, I'm stoned as balls. That'd probably be the worst time to debate Destiny. Debate Steven McGeevan? He hasn't messaged me or anything like that, and he's not in my chat. Challenge him? All right, Turkey Tom, here's one rule I have when it comes to debating. I never debate anyone to defend another person, okay? I'm not going to go on and debate Destiny to defend Milady TJ Kirk, okay? Where's Turkey Tom? He's in a YouTube chat. If you go on and debate him, I'll donate 50. Maybe when I'm sober, Turkey Tom. I'll go on and I'll debate the idea of, like, the concept behind this drama, not specifically defending TJ Kirk, but I am not high, because debating Destiny high sounds like a nightmare. Frankly, it would be like listening. When I get really high, I like to listen to Bob Marley.
Come on, Destiny. You got people exploiting people in Africa for cobalt. Just because you make more than these overseers doesn't mean you're a worse person. No, I'm just saying that, like, the idea of, like, exploitation is just really stupid, right? Like, anybody working for anybody being exploited. Technically, I'm pretty sure, like, in a Marxist sense, exploit isn't a morally loaded word, but when people use exploit in common parlance, it is morally loaded, and it becomes like a moral wrong, rather than just Marxian, which is just an analysis. I don't think dialectic materialism doesn't like make like moral claims, does it? It's just supposed to be a way of hold on, I need to make sure I'm not fucking this shit up. I'm pretty sure it's just like an analysis of how economies work, or it's supposed to be, right? The relation of like labor and value and price and everything to each other. But I'm pretty sure it doesn't make like moral claims. But whenever people use the term like exploitation or like exploitative or whatever, they use it. Yeah, people use exploitation as a synonym for slave. And that's not technically what it means. But like when people say modern day do it, it's just dumb. But like if you've got like a really good job, you're getting paid well, you're like flexible, like to say that like, oh, you're being exploited, it's just like really dumb. I don't know, it's just stupid. I don't like that explanation. It's not satisfying.
Marley, I'm pretty sure if I listened to a Destiny debate or did a debate with Destiny while high, I'd throw up. Anyway, this is dumb drama, all right? This could have been solved with like a DM. You know, I wonder if did it like continue on? Like, yeah, I mean, Destiny didn't respond to that in a quote tweet or anything. I was hoping to see something. Was that a good take from Mouthy Infidel down there? Surprising or shocking? What did he say? To be fair, it seems like the critiques which TJ levies at the elites has to do with their institutional power over workers via capital ownership, which could be a meaningful symmetry breaker. Yeah, also, this is like, I didn't even get
Yeah, but then you shouldn't even say elites. Why not just say like owners or business owners or something? I don't know. Fuck it. I don't care about any of this shit.